What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the State of the Auxiliary Podcast, where we come live each and every Sunday, and we're dropping great interviews each and every Wednesday. I hope that you are ready to get into what we have to show you this particular week, and I think I got a good interview for you, okay? I think I really have a good interview for you, okay? So with that being said, guys, I hope that you are ready because we have some great people lined up that you'll be seeing interviews come from, and we want to continue to hear from you, things you want to know, questions that we may not think to ask. Now, we want to ask and be very original and make sure we get into the depth of it, but we also want to make sure we be respectful. So make sure that you submit your questions of anything that you see. We try to get the flyer out a little bit before, but just remember, give us questions, because although we may not get it with every single person, those questions will help us build a question bank of things we may want to know as we go through our interviews. Now, with that being said, guys, I hope that y'all are ready because this Wednesday, we have a good interview for you. Before we get into this Wednesday, I want y'all to think about Sunday's show. If you didn't get a chance to watch Sunday's show, make sure you go back and watch Sunday's show from our live Week 3 review, okay? Week 3 review, that's right. You can catch it live on our Week 3 review. We stream live to Facebook under Passion Performance, Instagram under Passion in Performance __, and YouTube Passion in Performance. Okay, make sure you go and check those out. We want to make sure we are live each and every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We may be a few minutes late, but we are live. Okay, and we want to make sure that you come and support and interact with us in the chat and give us your feedback alive as we're giving our feedback and our thoughts and things like that. So make sure you're keeping up. Don't forget that you can also like and subscribe to the Passion in Performance Facebook page, Instagram page, and YouTube page. Come on, guys. Don't be scared with those likes. Don't be scared with those things. Let us know that you are ready for what we have to offer. And keep in mind that you can stream all of our content on Spotify and Apple Podcasts by simply looking up State of the Auxiliary over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you will find our podcast there and all of our previous shows and shows to come. All right. So thank you so much for being a part of our State of the Auxiliary family, or better yet, our Passion in Performance family. Now, with that being said, We like to cover things from the SIA. We like to cover the MEAC. We like to cover the SWAC. And we even like to cover the SIAC. But baby, tonight, we're going to bring you back to the SWAC. That's right. We're going to bring you back to the SWAC, and we got a special interview for you tonight. But before we get into that, y'all make sure y'all go out to this September 29th, okay? Make sure you got a few more days left to get ready for the Feel Yourself Slow and Medium Counts, okay? That's right. Feel Yourself Slow and Medium Counts. That's from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. That's going to be at the Duncanville Fieldhouse. It's $15 for each dancer. And you can cash out right now, today, $Quay Nation 4, okay? Quay Nation 4. All right, make sure that you cash out that $15. The Feel Yourself class is very much worth it. So make sure you're getting it all in. I know she's gonna make you dance, honey. She's gonna make you dance. She's gonna make you feel it. She's gonna make you want to be a part. I don't care if you're old or young. I don't care if you're short or tall, big or small. Quay has got a count for you all. All right, so make sure that you're in the room. Make sure you are getting it all in, okay? Now, we're going to go ahead. I know y'all probably looking like, where is Quay? Where is she? Where is the Quay? Where is the Quay, okay? Well, she's coming, y'all, because tonight we're going to actually be talking to... All right, y'all. So y'all know she's coming, okay? She's coming. All right. So we're gonna actually get a chance to talk about what comes behind the passion in performance. That's right. What the behind the passion in performance. We're gonna do it under the spotlight on our own very co-host, Quay or Jacque Porter, Coach Quay. All right. Y'all have seen her in many different forms, many different facets, and we all know that Quay don't like to talk. She don't, okay? The fact that she gets on here every week is amazing. It's astounding, okay? She told me no the first time. She told me no the second time. I'm almost positive she told me no a third time. But look, she's here today, and we're gonna get it in. Okay, we're going to get it in. So with that being said, tonight we're gonna get a chance to understand Quay's mission, Quay's background, a lot more about Quay. You've gotten little snippets of it in our episodes, but now you're gonna really get to see a lot more. Y'all see that Dallas Fans band? Look, y'all know it was real. It was real at one point. All right. So with that being said, I want y'all to get ready. I want y'all to prepare yourself. And I want y'all to really open up and hear the story that lies behind the performer, okay? With that being said, before we go any further, okay, I want to quickly show you this snippet, and then immediately following, Quay will join us on the screen. All right, here we go.
That broke. Go on, get your lick, pop that on this. You in your feelings crying, cause you don't wanna share nobody. Welcome to Houston, everybody.
Wayne!
Hey!
What's up?
Nothing much.
What's up?
Nothing much.
Look,
Just, getting in.
You have stepped out of the host chair and into the chair, into the role of being a guest. Now, I know people are going to be like, this is a little strange. It's a little weird because y'all get the host, but we really have not fully dug into the passion and performance. And, you know, as we're doing these under the spotlights, we got to under the spotlight you. We got to under spotlight what is passion and performance. We've heard it. We've talked about it. What is passion in performance and why? So before we get started, and because you know you kind of went viral a little bit this summer, I'm just saying you kind of were a viral sensation more recently in the last months, and so some people didn't know who you were. They were not able to identify you. Some people may not have ever come across you or even knew who you were because, you know, in the Dallas and Texas area, you are, you know, you're a known, well-known name. But in other places, you may not be that known because, you know, you did not get to dance all of your collegiate years, but you did make an impact where it mattered. Right. So with that being said, Quay, first off, give us who you are. Give us your real name, even though I've said it. Give us who you are. Give us some of your background. Give us everything leading up to passion and performance as best as you can. And then we're going to take it from there.
Okay. Well, y'all know me as Coach Quay, but my name is Jacque Porter. I am a Dallas native, born and raised. I've been dancing since I was in the 5th grade, starting at Edward Teich Elementary. And then I went to Lang Middle School, where I continued to dance, and moving on to Skyline High School, where I served as a Skyline Silhouette 2-year captain. I graduated Skyline in 2017, taking my talents to Texas Southern University, and I became a part of the Motion of the Ocean dance line, and I also danced as a Tiger Sensation. All my life, I knew that I wanted to dance. Once I started dancing, I knew that's something that I just couldn't give up, wanted to do. And yeah, I just felt like the more I grew into dance, I felt like this was something that I wanted to do all my life. So I knew young I wanted to teach dance. I knew that I wanted to have my own brand and give back to my community with dance. And honestly, I am now passion and performance, where the passion is the performance and the performance is the passion. I feel like you can't do either without each other. So yeah, that's just a little bit about where I come from and how we got to passion and performance.
So, knowing your background, but also some people may not know, you also danced on community teams, correct?
I did. I danced for Fearless headquarters my senior year in high school. That's where I began my majorette training. And I danced for Dallas Mass Band, Metroplex All-Star Band then. And that's also where I began doing my majorette training. That's where it started. And then I went into Fearless because the captain at the time was Felicia Sims. She's the director and, you know, owner of Fearless headquarters. So
she's also on our first episode ever on this podcast.
She was. So yeah, that's how I began. That's how I began doing my majorette training. But the technique and jazz and contemporary modern and all that, I started that when I was in 9th grade in high school at Skyline.
You also danced for another team, though.
Yes, I danced for the Emerald Elites here in Dallas, Texas. I also danced for the Dallas Dazzling Diamonds. So, yeah.
And the team that I first met you on, which was none of those teams. Do you remember the name of the team?
Was it America's Sweethearts?
That team right there.
America's Sweethearts.
I met you on that team the first time I ever seen you come out, and you came out like a beast. I mean, it was 3-4 y'all. And
it was 3 of us.
Those flannel shirts tied around your waist, some shorts, and the little tops, and baby danced down. And y'all were.
What was crazy?
Yes.
Because That performance that day, we decided to do that competition that morning, and everything that we did, we made it up that morning.
And you said y'all were middle school then?
No, we were sophomores, but our middle school coach told us about the competition and put us in the competition and told us to come do it. So
I met you your sophomore year in high school and have known you the duration. I mean, for a pretty long time. I've known of you, but I mean, I've known you for, oh wow, it's crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. And I was definitely a coach back then, but I remember seeing her, and I remember at one point I approached you to dance for a team I was coaching at the time, and it was a hard no, but it's okay. but I feel like everything happens for a reason, and although our paths didn't intertwine then, I mean, they definitely made it a way to intertwine where we are now. You know, it's really odd because I wore this shirt today not knowing.
Right.
It was not a pun intended to be wearing this shirt while you were here and you were in the interview seat. I literally just picked this up because of what I was wearing for today and how I was feeling. I actually love this shirt. It's a pretty old shirt, but I love this shirt. I love this part of the shirt, the Dallas part. I just thought it was really, really cool. So I always like to wear that because, you know, I'm from Dallas and I'm very proud of it. All right. Anyway, let's get back into the interview. So thank you for that bit of a background. Okay. So now, before we get into passion and performance, let's talk about your motto. Okay. For passion and performance, a lot of people, when you see passion and performance, you know, passion and performance has been the face and the host for the auxiliary, the collegiate way camp. It has been partnership with other camps as well, like the HBCU camp you just did. It has also been, the sponsor for State of the Auxiliary podcast and several many other things along the way. I can't think of all of the things. And then, of course, you do your monthly stretch class. You do your Feel Yourself class and all the things. And you've done a lot of that stuff pro bono. Like, you've done it for free. You haven't even charged, as well as you've done a lot of training camps and things like that. So your motto is, where the passion is the performance and the performance is where the performance is the passion and the passion is the performance. I'm saying it a little wrong, but you'll correct me. So with that being said, why passion and performance? We're not gonna go deep. Don't get me too deep. We're gonna come back to it. But why passion in performance? What does that mean? What does it stand for? And why passion and performance?
Passion and performance is what dance is to me. I knew early that I love to dance, and being on teams with other dancers and things, knowing that is something that we are all, we all find a love for. We all have this bond with dance, and we all share this passion. And so I just felt like, okay, you have to with passion, you go with dance. I feel like I'm not doing it if I'm not doing it with my passion. Like, if I'm not passionate about it, why am I doing it? With dance, to even perform, you have to have passion in it. It's just something like about it where you can't just do it. It's not just a thing just to do. If you're just doing it, it's nothing about it being passionate. You're just dancing versus you're putting your heart, soul, and body into it. So that's really where passionate performance came about. I try to teach my dancers that if you love it, perform like you love it. You can't dance, you can't perform if you don't have the passion for it. So that's really where the name came about.
Okay. So let's take a trip. You've given us some of your backdrop. Let's get into your collegiate era. Transition from high school, being captain 2 years, and then going into your audition year, and then crab year, and then the end of that year. I know we've talked about this kind of in spurts throughout several of our episodes, of the 27 episodes that come before this one. But with that being said, give me that story, what you can of it, so that those who do not know you and don't know your background can actually get it and actually know that journey.
Okay, so being that I danced in high school, I always knew I wanted to dance in college. I never really knew where until my senior year of high school. Crazy thing is, I didn't go where I wanted to go. I originally wanted to be a sensational stingette. Asia Martin, she sold it for me. I loved watching her. And then doing research on their team, I loved Ashley, Betts. I liked all of them. So I feel like it was a fit for me then. But I ended up enrolling into Texas Southern University. I didn't even audition, didn't even go down there to scope the school or anything. So it was really kind of heartbreaking because I knew that was something I really and truly dreamed of doing. But I ended up going to Texas Southern University, and I did not dance my freshman year. So I really thought my dancing days were over. But I don't know. It was like I always found myself at the rec in the dance studio, working out, dancing. I'll go work out, I'll go dance. Some days I'll just go dance. Some days I'll take my friends and make them dance with me. And so I remember one day, I can't remember who, but I know she danced for Texas Southern Motion. And she was like, "Why don't you dance on the team?" And I was like, "Yeah, I really didn't think about trying out or anything. I missed the tryout, so that's how that happened." And then one day they posted auditions for the Tiger Sensations my freshman year. And that time around, Germany was coaching the Tiger Sensations. And we had a meeting and we were just showing our skills, what we bring and things like that. And I remember her pulling me to the side and she was like, "I need you to try out in the spring." Didn't know what she was talking about, but that's what she told me. And that was that. So I still wasn't sold about trying out. But because, like I said, my heart was broken. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I actually had planned on transferring and trying again the next year. But that didn't happen. I ended up liking my school. And so I decided to try out actually the day of tryouts. So I'm really rushing. I'm rushing to go find a uniform for my solo. I'm rushing to turn in all this paperwork and have it prepared, do my headshots, do my hair, making sure that I look presentable, and I go to tryouts, and it was a long tryout. It was long. But I did my best. Now, keep in mind, I hadn't danced in a year. And when they say you go to college, you gain that freshman 15. And I did. I had got a little chunky. So that didn't stop me from dancing, though. It didn't stop how I, performed or anything. I just was a little bigger than I was. And so I ended up making the team. And I remember us taking pictures with our roses, because we got roses that year. I remember us taking pictures with our roses, and I remember us getting ready to leave, and our coach, she came and she was like, basically, "I need to lose weight." And so me thinking, when you're going into college, you're not thinking that about a lot of things that, should be presentable as a dancer in college. You're just thinking, "Oh, I just want to be a part of a dance team and I just want to dance because this is what I love to do." Right. And so being told that, it kind of like made me like, what? Like, I think I look good, But she did explain how, like, you are what you eat, you know, and that doesn't, it looks good in basically streetwear, but not in a uniform. And so I was like, okay. And she told me I had to lose the weight before I come back for band camp. And I did. I lost that weight. I went that summer working out every day. I was eating better, you know, making sure that I don't eat too bad. I was running in the morning, going to the gym, eating cucumbers all day, and wearing waistbands to make sure that I slim up. And so I remember having to send in pictures like every 2 weeks of the summer to make sure that I was really, you know, doing being dedicated to losing the weight.
But wait a minute, every 2 weeks?
Yeah, every 2 weeks she would make me send in pictures, you know, make sure that I'm losing the weight. I would have to wear, like, just really show in a sports bra, biker shorts, you know, just make sure that I have been dedicated. You know what's crazy? Every time, like, I got ready to eat, I don't know how she did it, but she called me, and it was really creeping me out because I was like, "Are you watching me?" She used to say, "No, seriously." And she used to say, "This is why I said that," because she used to say, "I see everything. I have people everywhere." And so the fact that she used to call me is like, "Girl, okay, I get it. Like, I'm eating right. Stop calling me." But you know, the fact that I ain't gonna lie, looking at the pictures now, I did need to slim up. I did, just being real. But yeah, I didn't think that it kind of had an impact on me because I had never been told something like that, you know? And so I understand this is when I started to learn that the dance world can be like cutthroat because it was just direct, you know? And so I just felt like then at that moment, I was kind of embarrassed because I had never been, like I said, I had never been told anything like that. And so being that I was the only one out of all the girls who was thicker, you know, kind of made me feel like, okay, now they're going to think that I'm the weakest link because I'm bigger and they're going to think I can't keep up and stuff like that, you know. So, yeah. So,
you know,
go ahead.
As a coach, you know, I can testify that I have put one of my teams on a diet before just for the uniform purposes because I knew the type of uniforms we were going for and to make sure that everybody looked their best and wouldn't feel insecure in the uniform. I did put them on a diet for 2 weeks. It was just a 2-week diet. It wasn't like nothing strenuous because this was high school. And all they did was take away and slowly allow them to kind of control what they eat, just teaching them control and that they can control it with the exercise, the workouts we were doing, dancing every day. You didn't have to do any extra working out because we did that in practice. So you were going to get the workout and the toning. All I needed you to do was to watch your diet so that when we walk into football season, as we put these outfits on, that's going to be a little more revealing in the back or on the love handles or maybe in the stomach area. You can be toned. Doesn't mean skinny, but you can be toned and know that you're not spilling over in any area of the uniform that's going to make you feel uncomfortable or unflattered to where you're going to be self-conscious as you perform. And that was hard, but I can also remember that I told them very similarly that I have eyes everywhere. And it's weird because when people know you on a diet, let me tell you something, people know that y'all can get in trouble if you do something you can't eat. Like I had a you could not eat. Oh, the people will snitch. Let me tell y'all, the people from near and far by train, plane, car, bus, airplane, and spaceship to snitch on you. You'd be surprised the number of people that was telling on people during school hours, after school hours, before school hours, in their home life. Like they were telling because they couldn't eat hot chips, they couldn't do this. The diet was very one day may be all fruit, another day may be vegetables. Today they may get meat and a small amount of fruit or the certain vegetable or something. So it was a diet. But again, all it was to do was to cut back what they were eating. So long story short, I can understand that concept from the coach's eyes that I'm trying to get you to watch it. But at the same time, I can understand it that to someone coming into the college world and into the dance world, that being told that you're big is kind of hard. Because as I said in the last interview we did last week with Nisi, it is, people forget that y'all are young girls, young people. Like, yeah, y'all are technically an adult at this point, but you are 18, 19, 20-year-old adult.
Yeah, not really. I'm still calling my mama, asking her questions. So,
right. So I can understand how that could be detrimental, because in most cases in high school, at least in the Texas area, we can't tell you about, your size, or just blatantly call you big or you need to lose weight. We have to do it in a way that would be not hurtful. Hey, y'all need to watch what you eat. We can say it kind of generically, but just be able to go up to somebody and say, hey, you kind of, that's a little different. And I can see where mentally that could be, there. So
it's not even the fact that, she told me that. It's the fact of me being in front of everybody, in front of the band director, in front of the judges, in front of the new girls that are my craft sisters now, in front of the vets. That was kind of, a lot for me, because it's embarrassing. Nobody wants to be told that in front of a lot of people,
Yeah. So and that's a different space, because in college they don't care, and we're coming from a high school, we kind of shelter y'all from those harsh treatments. We could try to maybe teach you what we can, but there's only so far we can go, to prepare you for what you may come across in the HBCU world. And we've talked about this before on the podcast, the uniform test or uniform cuts. A lot of teams have them in different forms. Some during the audition process, some as extreme as every game. If you don't look a certain way in the uniform, you're not performing. And that can cause, we've talked about body dysmorphia, things like that, where people are really harsh on their bodies because, and I understand as a dancer, you want to be toned, typically smaller in size. But as we keep, glorifying, the honeybees and other plus size dancers, even having Asia on, a couple of weeks ago and talking about you can still keep up, you can still dance and do all the things that all the other people do. You just are bigger. And some people are just naturally bigger. What about the girls who are big bone, who will never be small? Their body will never allow them to get that small. What about those girls? So just food for thought. But anyway, continue. So you were there. She told you about losing your weight. You knew now that you need to lose weight. And so
when it came around to bank camp, I lost the weight. I had lost the weight, and I came back, and not knowing what I was really getting myself into as far as, like crabbing and all that stuff. I never had experienced that. So that was something new to me, but it was nothing that I felt like I couldn't take, because like I said, I come from Fearless and Dallas Mass Band and Skyline, where we've had to do a lot of things, as far as being a dancer. So it really was not that hard, but learning that I had to be humbled to become a part of the organization I wanted to be a part of, So yeah, I went through that whole process, and I began to kind of I guess I would say I began to start to feel myself when it became too motion, because at first when I started learning first off, when I came back to band camp, I didn't know none of the materials. I didn't know none of the stands, and I got in trouble for that. And so that next day, me and my craft sisters, we came back, we knew all the stands because We weren't trying to do what we did the day before again. So we knew all the stands and stuff like that. And as the season went on, we began creating our own material. And I would say I probably had a lot of material, as well as my craft sisters. We came up with a lot of material that season. And that's when I started to feel comfortable in being in the organization, because at first I felt like I could dance. It's like I knew I could dance, but trying to learn the style, it was so different. A lot of people think that our style is not anything hard, but when people really try to learn it, and when people, get into it, they're like, okay, this is difficult. This is awkward. I would have never thought this was coming next, type of thing. So yeah, I began getting comfortable with the style, and it's almost the end of the season, and I'm being told that, people want me to audition to be captain the next year and things like that. And I'm like, well, I'm just I'm just a crab. I'm a, crab right now. I probably will need another season to be molded before I need to, do that, think about that. But I kind of was being pushed in the area to do. So I remember my coach, she had my captain have me lead at the game from my spot. I was a center girl, so I was leading from there. And that's when I knew, like, okay, I might not even have a choice. I might, need to just go ahead and prepare myself for this. And so doing that, I was nervous because, like I said, I'm a crab. I don't want anybody thinking that, just me thinking outside. I don't want anybody thinking that I'm not humble or anything like that because I'm leading or whatever. So, yeah, but I did that, and it kind of felt good. It kind of made me feel like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe this is something that, is for me. And so the season went on, and I remember being with my captain, and we were going to get something. We had a fashion show to do. I remember us having a fashion show. And so we were going to get something. I don't remember what it was, tights, whatever. I don't remember. We were going to get something. And I remember her talking to me, and she was like, hey, you're going to be captain next year. And so she was like, yeah, I've talked about it. We've talked about it. I just need you to know, keep your head up. Don't let your, crab sisters get in your way and such, just trying to keep me motivated, because she's saying the person is you, and it's going to be you. It's been talked about. It's been made. It's been said. Blah, 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 blah. And so we get to auditions. I took that in. I was like, okay, so let me prepare. I was nervous because, like I said, I'm a crab going straight to captain. That's kind of nerve-wracking to a person. But anyway, we get to auditions, and I make it past first round, which was the solo round. And then I make it past the second round, which was the technique round. Then we get to the choreography round, where we have to, learn choreography. Y'all, we had 10 minutes to learn a minute and 30 dance. Just 10. Okay. And then you go outside and work it on yourself on your own.
10 minutes.
Right. 10 minutes.
I mean, they was literally just teaching. They wasn't stopping, answering questions. It was teach, run through. All right, you're on your own. That's crazy.
Yeah, 10 minutes. And I remember being outside because I'm a girl, and I am one of those women who like overly sweats. So at this point, my makeup is running, my hair is, the wig is sliding, all that thing and stuff. And I didn't know how to fixing my refix my face and all this stuff. I didn't know how to, do touch-ups and things like that. So I'm just like, okay, hey, I'm a sweaty dancer. This is what it is. I padded, try to make myself look better with Woo. It's my turn to go in an audition. And I go in, I give my all, I do my best, and you know, I felt like I did good, but I'm still nervous at the end of the day because you never know what could happen. I'm always nervous. That's just that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way I stay humble. I don't ever want to be too confident, but I'm confident. But I audition, I go in, I did it, come back out, and they had callbacks. Didn't get called for a callback, for some people. But that's fine. That's not really a bad thing, callbacks. So we get in there and they're getting ready to pick the team. They're calling the numbers, and my number was never called. And so I'm looking, not trying to be funny or anything, but I'm looking at the girls they're calling, and there's girls that I know I did better than. I know for a fact, because just being real, some of the people they picked couldn't even do basic technique, And so it was just like, what is really going on? The fact that I was told something, and had this not bug in my ear, but it was pushed on me. Mm-hmm. It was pushed on me to get ready for this. And then I don't make the team. It was kind of like, okay, what's really going on? Why didn't I make the team? So as we're exiting the building, because once you don't make the team, you get your stuff, you gotta go. I sat in the foyer of the band hall for a moment, and I didn't cry or anything, because I don't ever shed tears in front of anybody. I'm not gonna let you see me sweat. But I did sit there, and I was just thinking. I was like, what is it? What is going on? Like, what is the problem? Come to find out later on, because they had a second audition in the summer, I was told that, hey, you need to do something different with your hair. You need to go get your gap closed. You need to figure out how to make your makeup look better. That's what I was told. They was like, come back and try it again. Make sure you have all those things done. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back and try it again, because I had grown a love for the organization. I had just crabbed. I've grown a love to it. I wanted to be there. And so I tried out again that summer, and I did something different with my hair. I did something different with my makeup. I didn't do anything with my teeth, because what can I do about that? Mm-hmm. And so I was just like doing my best as always. And when I tried out, I still didn't make the team. And they picked other people who I felt like I did, better than. Not trying to say it like that, but it's just me being real. Like, I know for a fact that I did better than this person. And I'm just like, what is going on? And so I'm looking at the girls, and they don't all look alike, but they all are small. They're all petite, They're mm-hmm. all, pretty, nice smiles, all of that. And so I'm just like, okay. That time around, it kind of broke my heart, because it was like, I can't believe this is why I didn't make the team. So yeah, that's that story.
So, quick question for clarification. So, you crabbed in 2017.
Correct.
You were under the impression that you were set up to be captain 2018.
Correct.
Tried out twice, did not make the team twice.
Correct.
And then we saw the disaster of 2018 happen on the field weeks after.
Correct.
Interesting.
Don't get me wrong. I love my organization. I love my school and everybody. Nothing to bash them, but karma happens for a reason. And I feel like that's why God didn't have me, make the team that year. Because, like I said, there was no way I didn't make the team. Hey, I must curse. Like 2017 was a 2017 year. You know what I'm saying? I would say I made up a lot of choreography that year. I had a lot of the stands the girls do today are stands that I created. Not just trying to just throw my name out there, but it's facts. So the fact that when my coach would be like, I need you to make up such and such and such, I would come back, have the material ready, So I kind of felt used because I didn't make it, but whatever. And so watching that year go on, the next year, the 2018 year, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of depressed because it was like you took something away from me that I love to do, and it wasn't because of my talent, it was because of my appearance. And so watching that year and how it was going down, even though it was going the way it was going, I, in a sense, felt bad because I hated that my organization was going like that, And I feel like if my presence was there, a lot of things wouldn't have happened. Just saying, because I'm a leader. So I'm not a follower. I don't, just do what everybody does. I'm a leader first. And so I just felt like my presence was needed because I feel like I'm one of those people that don't want to be embarrassed. I'm one of those people that, I'm not going out there looking crazy any kind of way. None of that. And the fact that the things happened that year, it was kind of embarrassing because nobody wants their organization to go down like that.
So quick question. So I know some things, but with all that being said, you didn't make it your 2018 line. Mm-hmm. That was the same year that some things happened and the coach was abruptly removed, correct? Was that 2018 or was that 2019?
Correct. That's the same year. So the band director and the coach was removed that year.
So there was the transition that was happening. Sometimes, and I say this all the time, sometimes rejection was protection. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of turmoil in the 2018 year with that organization, and no hate to anybody that was there, but it just was one of those years where a great shift came, and the organization was trying to maintain. And unfortunately, you have what we call the Great Disaster of 2018, which some great people came from that line, but Cheyenne came from that line, correct?
Cheyenne, Kaylin, LaKayla, all of them came from that line.
All of them came from the 2018. They are some of the greats of what is now, but that year was and they were crabs that year. So that was a crab year of, wow, they had a rough start to a year, but there was also direction changing, leadership changing, a lot. And not just 2018. I mean, we can go back years before where there was, again, a shift. Your captain was Michaela. Prior to Michaela was Kenya. I worked, me and Kenya were cool. I was Kenya's coach at one point, and Kenya, went through a shift as well. And then Michaela came back and there was a shift. And then after Michaela was a shift again. So there was this period of about 6 years where there was a shift 3 times within the organization. And then to come back about 4 years later, and there's another shift again to what we currently have as motion now. So that's neither here or there. But with that being said, I'm just kind of painting the picture so that everybody can understand where we're going and kind of what's happening. So 2018, you don't make the team. What happens from there?
So I didn't make the team, and I decided to audition for the Tiger Sensations. Now, I did not want to dance for the basketball team because I was a field dancer. That's just that. Once you dance for the band, you don't want to go nowhere else. That's just what it is. But during my time dancing for the Tiger Sensations, I actually enjoyed it because I felt like it was a different vibe. Like the basketball games used to be lit, and so the only thing I felt like I had to get used to was standing up the whole game. I didn't know we did that, but other than that, I enjoyed it. I feel like I learned a difference in the styles of dance versus being on the field. I thought it was cool. And, it was fun. I did the same thing I did in motion. I did at Tiger Sensations. I created choreography. I had fun. It was fun. I enjoyed the girls. The team was cool. And yeah, that was something different. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did miss, when I used to see my friends dancing, my craft sisters dancing with the band and stuff and all of that. And I used to be like, I want to be over there with them. Because those are my craft sisters. We went through things together. Like, those are my sisters. But being in the gym and knowing that I still had the support from the band, there were games where I used to get mad at them because they used to be like, "Go Quay, we want Quay," and I used to be like, "Stop doing that because you're making the other girls upset," But I enjoyed it. The support was real.
Question: out of the crab line of 17, did any of the crabs from 17 make it to the 18 line?
Well, originally, the first audition, only one crab made it. And then when it got to the second audition, another crab made it. But then when it came to the summer, the new girls that made the team started dropping like flies. And so the captain that year was calling girls back. Now, it was told to me that she was supposed to call me too, but I never got that call. So, yeah.
Gotcha. No worries. Okay, so what did you dance for Tiger Sensation 2018? After the year of 2018, then where did you go?
You're talking about the spring of 2019?
Fall 2018, yeah. Spring, yeah. So after this fall of 2018, spring of 2019 comes, and
so I was still dancing for the Tiger Sensations, but I was asked to come back and join the Motion of the Ocean for the 2019 spring season. And at first, I was a little hesitant because what did it look like me coming in the middle of the season,
Mm-hmm.
But in my heart, I knew that I wanted to be back on that dang on field with the band. So I went back. I did the parade season for the 2019 season, and I was initiated into the Tau Beta Sigma band sorority, national band sorority. So, yeah, that's what happened in the spring. Being on the team in the spring, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel I had my crab sisters, but I did feel kind of out of place because I didn't know the other girls like that, and I came in the middle of the season, so it was just kind of like, okay, I'm here.
What made them bring you back in parade? What in spring? What we would consider parade season?
I think a lot of the girls who danced that year, I think they quit. I think a lot of things have transpired. I'm not sure. I can't really, say because I don't know.
Right.
But I remember, what was I doing? I was helping. No, that's not what I was doing. I remember being in the band hall for something. I think I was there for my friend at the time. And the lady who was over like the funds and everything for the band, she was like, I need you to come back in March parade season. And she asked me and my captain, Michaela, to come back. And so that's what we did. We came back.
Came back that season too.
Yes, because me and Michaela, we both were dancing for Tiger Sensations together.
Mm-hmm.
But we went back to Motion 2019 spring season.
So after the spring season is over, did you try back out again for 2019 fall?
I did, because being asked to come back, it was kind of like, okay, maybe that's a sign that I need to try out again. Because at first I wasn't going to try out, but I knew it was something that I missed, and I knew that I wanted to be out there. So I did. And I actually made the team again. And I was happy. And I was just ready to get my vet year. Like, I didn't get that vet year, so it's like, okay, it's time for me to get my vet year. So I made the team and, did the same thing I did last time. I made sure I worked out, made sure I stayed in shape, because once again, I was depressed and I had gained a little weight, but I lost it. But I remember being at the band director was still there at the time. So the coach had been fired, but the band director was still there. So I remember going into auditions, and I remember being asked, do you have a flipper?
What you put over your teeth. Okay.
Yeah. And so I was like, what? A flipper? And she was like, yeah, do you have a flipper? And I was like, no, I don't have a flipper. I don't have one. I said, I remember being, I hate that I did this, but I remember saying that I would buy one just to make sure that was not the reason I didn't make the team again.
Mm. So
yeah.
How did you feel on the inside when being asked that question about the flipper? Did you know what a flipper was when they asked you that?
I knew what a flipper was because I had watched what is the show with the girls with the pageants and stuff like that, and they be snagging and they put the flipper in their mouth and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I knew what it was, but it was just shocking because it's like, why is that a problem? Like, I've been told, I feel like me without my gap is not me, Mm-hmm. I had braces before. I've had them before. And guess what I did when I got them? I took them off. They put them back in my mouth and I wore them and my gap was closed. But guess what? I didn't wear my retainer because I liked my gap. It's just like, I feel like my mom has a gap. My grandmother had a gap. My great grandmother had a gap. It was just, it's a thing. And so it's
uniquely identifying mark.
Exactly. And it's like, I feel like without that, who is Quay without the gap, Mm-hmm. And so the fact I'm not ugly, like, you can't say I'm not ugly. I'm not ugly. I'm a beautiful young woman. And I feel like my gap was just something different about me. So why is that a problem to the band director? Mm-hmm. Why are you looking at that? Why are you judging me? You're not even looking at what I bring or what I do. Like, you're just looking at my gap and you have a problem with it.
But didn't your band director have a gap?
He did.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. So, with that being said, and moving on, you made the team. Did you dance fall 19? I'm sorry. Did you dance fall 19?
So, I danced fall of 19. Maybe I danced at National Battle of the Bands. I danced maybe the first 3 games. I know I did Labor Day Classic. And I did the game against HBCU, yes, Houston Baptist University. Mm-hmm. I did the game against them, and I think that's it. Then I think those are the only games I did, but I had an issue with a balance. So I had a housing balance because my poor school, Lord Jesus, they just didn't do me right. Every year I had a problem with housing. Not gonna lie. And I had to move off campus one year because they didn't submit my housing application. They lost it, actually. Just being real, they lost it. And I know I turned it in because I had a copy of it, but they couldn't find it. And so when I got to school, I didn't have housing, so I had to move off campus. Being that I moved off campus, it took away, I don't know, the housing aid or something because I moved off campus. But the next year when I was moving on campus, the next semester I moved back on campus and I had to pay out of pocket. And so I couldn't afford it because I'm a college student. I'm in the band. You know, I couldn't get a job. And so I ended up having a balance. And so the lady, once again, who was over the funds and things like that for the band, I guess she didn't want to help me because she didn't know who I was. You know, people are malicious and say things and tell people things. And so I guess she just had a picture painted in her head about me and she didn't want to help me pay the balance, which she could have, but she chose not to. And so at that point, when I was talking to her in her office, I was hurt, but at the same time, I wasn't surprised. And so I was just like, you know what? I told her, I'm not going to stress about this anymore. I said, I feel like you can help me and you're choosing not to. I said, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home. And I said, I'm going to finish school on my own time. And I'll try again another day. But right now, I don't think this is where I need to be. And I'm not going to stress about it. And at the time, I had been staying with my crab sister because I still didn't have housing. And I couldn't get in school.
So your vet year, you didn't even get a chance to really fully live your vet year.
Exactly. Had to cut it short.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So fast forward, you didn't finish 2019. You didn't dance 2020. You didn't dance. Oh wait. You didn't dance 2020, and then 2021 happens.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So spring 20, COVID happened 2019. I mean, 2019 happens, but then going into spring 2020, COVID kind of happens. We shut down, so we didn't get much of a parade season. We didn't get fall 20, and then spring 2021 comes around, and catch me there.
Okay, so when I came back in 2019, fall 2019, I came back home, and I had started teaching my classes. I remember talking to a friend, and I was like, I think I'm gonna start teaching classes. I think that's something that I feel like God wants me to do this. And so I started teaching my classes, and I remember asking like some of the girls that, you know, I danced with, like Aaliyah, I asked Cheyenne, I had Kyrie. This is when she was a Golden Blues. And I had asked Kyra, her sister, Kyrie's twin. I asked them if they would like to, and I asked Caitlin, and I asked them if they would like to, help me start my brand, build my brand, Passion and Performance, come teach classes sometimes, help me teach this, help me teach that. I'll come to Houston and we'll be in Dallas, And so I was doing that. And so 2021 came, I'm still teaching my classes, this is when everybody's going back to dancing and stuff and back in school. And I get a call. I remember teaching Kaylin a routine because I wanted us to do it for a video. I had a visual I wanted us to do. And so I taught Kaylin a routine, and she called me one day while she was at practice, and she was like, hey, Quay, can I use this routine? Because we don't have a coach, and we have a game coming up and we really don't have anything. And I was like, yeah, go ahead. You can use it, I don't mind. And so she was like, thank you so much, because I didn't have anything. And we got
you talking about Captain K.
Yes, Kaylin, yes. And so we got off the phone, and then I was thinking, I was sitting down and I was thinking, and I was like, nobody's trying to help them, and it's just when I started to go in panic mode again about what happened in 2018. Mm-hmm. And so I called her back and I was like, hey, if y'all need somebody to come and help y'all with choreography and training and stuff like that, I can do that. I can come down there and help you, but I'm gonna need a fee because I have to work too. I still have bills to pay, but I'm willing to come and help you all. And so that's how that happened. That's how I ended up, going down there and helping the girls for COVID season. They always call. I was told that I was the coach, but things happened because the person who was in leadership at the time shouldn't have been in leadership. So the girls always refer to, like, when they talk about it, they say, this is my coach. This is my COVID coach. This is the COVID coach right here. But
the COVID coach, I remember that title.
The COVID coach. They always say that I was their coach. And even though, people don't like to give me that credit, they still give me that credit. So I'm grateful for that.
So how did it make you feel to be able to go back, even for the little time of the spring 21 semester, be able to lead the team that you kind of had a tumultuous relationship with, like, your crab year, the non-dancing 18 year, the partial dancing 19 year, the I left you 19 year, and then just, it was a love-hate type thing. Like, you love the organization, but there was also some things that just kind of, rubbed you the wrong way. So how did it feel to be able to go back and now be kind of like the leadership, the stand-in leadership, when they had none, again, doing another shift of transitions? And how did that make you feel? And what did it feel like to pour into the next generation? Because at that time, you pretty much were over trying to dance collegiately, I'm assuming, at that time.
Yeah, I was pretty much over it. I didn't care to dance collegiately anymore. Like, I feel like I did it already. I did it the 1 year. I was grateful for it. I'm moving on. God put me in this path to start teaching my own classes. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. I'm preparing dancers for college auditions. Then I get a call and I'm here teaching them choreography. It honestly, when I was asked, when it was confirmed that they wanted me to come and teach, I was actually kind of grateful, because it was like, okay, I never thought I would be here. I never thought this would happen. It's kind of crazy. And so I had to come down there. Maybe like I didn't stay in Houston, so it was kind of like I worked with them when I could. I taught them on
Zoom.
We were on Zoom, and I would go down there and make sure everything was right. So I went down there for a week, I believe, or was it 2 days? I don't remember, but I know I went down there and I taught them 2 field shows. I taught them maybe 15 stands, and I was teaching them just how, like, we do things. And that was the year.
When you say how we do things, be more specific.
Like our marches, our motion march, and the neck kicks, and all the things like that. Like, I was teaching them how we do things. So in that time, I felt appreciated, because the girls, like, they liked me. They liked how I did things. They liked the fact that I was understanding to a lot of the things that they were going through, and stuff like that. But when it came to that game, that's when I was like, okay, I really did this. You know, the field show I taught them, you know, it was good, but I feel like it just me being a nitpicker and me being a perfectionist and a coach. I feel like had I been there more, it could have been better. But I was not disappointed with what they did. You know, it was a COVID season. They had just started learning the routine a month ago. So, you know, I was coming down there every 2 weeks, you know, so it was kind of like, it was fun, I would say that, but it was kind of like shocking, but at the same time, believable. But wow, did I really do that? You know?
What was it like, because it was COVID? So what was that practice? You coming from Dallas, like, was there any special? Were you having to do the COVID testing with the band? Like, what were
I
those
did have to
strenuous
take COVID
things?
tests.
Okay.
I did have to take COVID tests before I came because, like I said, COVID was very, 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 you know, detrimental at the time. And we didn't want anybody getting sick or anything. So I did have to take COVID tests. We did have to wear masks in practice. And we it's crazy because we had to wear masks, but they put us, we have the practice room we're in is like a classroom. So all of those girls in that room all together, it's still like, okay, we still could pass any kind of way. But at that time, it really didn't matter because they were really focused on just trying to look good for the game. So yeah, but the practices were great. Like the fact that who was the band director? Prof D was the band director at the time. He was a person in a position at the time, well, portraying the band director at the time. And the lady who wouldn't give me the funds to get back in school, she was still there. And so I left an impression on them because, you know, it was kind of like, they said it was like night and day because the girls didn't look like that at first before. But when they started seeing me work with them, I was like, okay, you're doing great. You're doing awesome. And it was like, then I was pretty much over dancing in college, but she wanted to bring me back and pay for me to come back to school. And so I was like, right. And so I was like, at the time, I was like, I probably should have did it then. But at the time, I was like, I really don't want to, you know, I think I was kind of traumatized in a way. So I really didn't want to go back into that.
I can understand that, and I could definitely see that. And so you taught the field routine that we saw at the one game. I think it was one game y'all had that year. And most notably, that went like crazy, which I think a lot of people don't know that you were behind, that you were a big part of the choreography of the Your Mind Still. I don't know if you did all of it, but I know you had a big input on that.
I actually did do all of the choreography.
Okay. So what we saw Cheyenne that made Cheyenne like the captain of COVID year was choreography. Okay. So what was that moment like for the game and also the virtual battle that happened between Alcorn?
Okay, so the game, the girls, I was nervous because, like I said, I wasn't there every day with them. I couldn't be there with them every day. So when the next time I saw them was the game. And it had probably been like a week since I've seen them. So I'm like, okay, I hope they've been practicing. I hope they, you know, got everything together, how we practice. I remember having to do the formations on paper and sending it to Kaylin, like, so that she could set it up and stuff, you know. So it was kind of crazy. But seeing it come to life, it was like, okay, I think God trying to tell me something, you know. I feel like this might be my ministry, because seeing them at the game, I was really proud of them because they pushed through everything they had went through, not having a sponsor, not having, someone come and teach them after asking people to come teach. Nobody came, so it was really, it felt good to be there to help them, to make sure that they look good, be there for all these girls, making sure that they have what they need, so on. So yeah, it was actually pretty
What do you think that was about that nobody wanted to help them during the? Was it? Do you think it was strategically COVID that made people not want to do it, or what do you think that was?
Honestly, I don't know. It could have been COVID. I don't know, but none of that really mattered because I came to help. So
okay, and then the virtual battle between Alcorn that went pretty viral. What did that do? I'm putting this picture up so it's not just something that we talked about. It's actually documented. There go Coco in the picture.
Look at Coco. Look at Tamara. Look at Tamara. She was a crab, and now she just was a captain. That's crazy.
Kaylin. I mean, I'm looking at girls that I remember this whole line.
Right. Look at Miracle. Look at Kai, Alicia. Look at Bree.
Cheyenne. I remember the whole line. The uniform was everything.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, anyway, and this was y'all's after season trip. This picture particularly, y'all had a after season trip where y'all went together and just kind of celebrated getting through.
No, that was at the game.
This was a game? I thought this picture was when y'all went on the trip.
No, that was at the game.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No, we went on a trip. That was before the season that was about to come. But
gotcha. See, I'm getting my timelines messed up. Anywho, so really good picture. Okay, so moving on. So real quickly, touch on the Alcorn thing, and then I want to get into passion and performance.
Okay. So the Alcorn battle, the girls, it was that day was, I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot going on when it came to the uniforms. Like they were just, it was a lot going on with the uniforms, but we managed to make something shake. And so, yeah, the battle was fun, but I was on them girls, but like, why you messing up right here? Like it was kind of like they were kind of nervous and there was nobody in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was because Smash Time was there or because it was COVID and the year just wasn't like all the other years. I don't know, but yeah, the battle was, looking at the video, I really feel like they did really good. The girls was giving it their all. They doing what they do, what they could do, and yeah, they just made it work. And the Golden Girls, they looked amazing. I feel like I don't know if they had a sponsor or not, but I feel like they, looked good. And I feel like my girls looked good, even though they didn't, have me there every day. I feel like they did amazing. Now I was on their butts a little bit after because something shouldn't have happened, but it is what it is. It's mistakes happen, and at the end of the day, you got to learn how to teach your dancers, make them know, like make them aware of their mistakes, but still keep them motivated at the end of the day, so they won't fall into that, place of, oh, I messed up. It's on my mind all day. It's gonna be on video. Like, it happens.
Right.
I messed up. So
also, I think it's kind of weird how full things come back circle. You did the virtual battle, and you were coaching at the time, Motion of the Ocean, and Kivia was captain in that battle. And then we all come back around and have that whole. It's just weird to see that whole moment come back full circle. Anywho, so let's get into passion and performance. So moving out of that, situation where you were the COVID coach, and then a transition happened again, and you were no longer the coach or in line for the coach. And then, of course, administration, a whole complete new administration came in at that time. You came back to pushing passionate performance, and passionate performance then takes, really starts to take off as things happen. So kind of going through that moment where you had to recalculate yet again, what you're going to do and where your movement is. Talk about that, and then what passionate performance is now.
So when I was told that I would be the coach, because I was told that, okay, I was definitely told that, and two people can vouch for me, but neither here nor there. I had planned to move to Houston, and so I signed a lease. And so when the shift happened, it was like, okay, it was like I was swept under the rug at that point. And so now I'm here with this lease and not going to have a job. So what am I going to do? I ended up not moving to Houston, and I just started to really focus on my brand, because every time that I tried to put myself in something else that wasn't for me, God showed me that it wasn't for me. And so I started to do more classes again, and I tried to make them different. I tried to do, I started teaching contemporary classes, lyrical classes. I started teaching jazz funk. I taught high kick. I taught stands, of course, because that's a class favorite. And I was just, while doing it, I was just in love with it, because it reminded me of why I even have passionate performance. And so doing that, I continue to, grow a community. I have a lot of people who know me because of my classes, and people who come to me and send people to me because of my classes. So I did start training dancers for college auditions, and I have had people who I've worked with make teams, such as Motion and the Black Foxes, the Golden Girls, and 14K, And so seeing that happen, it really I felt like that's where I needed to be. In the midst of teaching these girls, passionate performance is all about being real. So when I'm training these girls to go to these schools, I'm letting them know. I'm not letting them know everything, but I'm letting them know, hey, this is not going to slide when you get here. Don't feel like you're going to be entitled to anything, just telling them the real, because I was never taught those things. And I don't want them to go in with a blind eye, because a lot of times those girls who do go in with a blind eye, they never make it through the process. And I don't never want my girls to go in like that. I don't, because it's just who wants to be blind to something when entering something, just being real. And so if I can teach you something about what's going on and how to work through it and how to make sure you get through it and everything, why not share that with you? So yeah.
Makes sense. Completely makes sense. So what would you tell someone going through all of that, from your beginning through your collegiate to now where you are? What would you share with someone who may face the adversities that you faced going forward?
Honestly, I would tell them, this is why I'm going to say this. I've always been told that I'm strong, and I never let anything get me down. So I would definitely tell them keep going. I know that sounds cliche, but keep going. Don't don't let the noise stop you from doing what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, do it for you and have a purpose behind why you're doing it. You know, I would
Okay.
like to, I would definitely tell them don't worry about the people. Because at the end of the day, I wish I had told myself this sooner. People are going to say things. People are going to have things to say. People are going to not like you. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't stop you from doing what you do.
Right.
So, yeah.
When it comes to, and I know we've heard a lot of your thought processes on, throughout the episodes of the show about, certain things. When it comes to image, size, um, gaps in teeth, any of that, what would you say to people who are dealing with body dysmorphia or feeling like they're not enough because their image or their features, we put so much on the image of beauty and not the talent that's within?
Um, Honestly, I would tell them you have to love yourself first before anything. I being remember when I didn't make the team and why I didn't make it. I remember walking to every time I passed the mirror, I would look at myself to make sure like, you know, I looked good. And it's crazy because I'm not exaggerating that I would literally wear makeup every day and try to do my hair different and stuff like that just to make sure I look good. Until one day, I had someone to tell me. I remember I was getting ready. This is back when I was home, when I came home. And I remember I was getting ready for the day and I was about to put makeup on and all that stuff. And he stopped me. He was like, you don't have to do all of that. You're beautiful. You're perfect the way you are. I love your skin and all that stuff. And hearing that, it made me like, it kind of made me feel like, okay, I'm overthinking things. I'm overthinking this beauty thing. And so going on my journey, falling in love with me, I started to see beauty in everybody,
Hmm.
and I had, you let the public get in your head with the whole what's beautiful and stuff like that. But really going on my journey trying to find myself and my beauty, I really start to see the beauty in everybody. And so if anybody is going through anything like that, I would say you have to love yourself first and see the beauty in yourself. Because if you don't, nobody will. And I know that's like saying nothing, but it's a lot that I'm saying when I say that. Because once you start to have that confidence, the world will treat you like you have that confidence.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
pretty deep. That's pretty deep. When you think about team styles, community dance, the influence of community dance on collegiate world, what do you think? What are your opinions in that? And what do you think about how do you think we can keep styles pure without the influctuation of community dance and things like that? Because it's been said in many occasions that styles are starting to blend, styles are looking similar, styles are pulling from each other. Do you believe that? Do you think that, we are just exaggerating, that dance is just evolving? Do you think certain motions belong to certain teams? Like, what are your thoughts in that area?
Um. mm. um. I do feel like dance is universal. And so a lot of things can be seen as something else and the same as something else.
Mm-hmm.
But I do also feel like when pertaining to schools, each school is known for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just me being real. Times have changed, and social media plays a big part in that. But I will say, sticking to your style is kind of hard. Not hard today, but when you don't study the style, that's when
Mm-hmm.
it becomes different.
Okay.
So, for instance, how a team can evolve without changing their style, but still look different, but still look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Example, the J6. They have a distinctive style. When you see something, it's set. It's J set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, even when they soften up their style, it still looks like them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even when they make new counts and everything, it still looks like them. And that's what I mean when I say it's okay to evolve, but stay with your style.
Mm-hmm.
You I can definitely say that during the transition of motion, I will say that I felt like in the beginning some things were going to change because they were just being honest. And now I feel like they're getting back to like what you are known for or used to do and still evolving. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like they look great. Now, not saying that they look bad or anything because they never looked bad, ever. They always, you know, dance. But I will say in the beginning, I being the fact that I am a part of the organization and had to go through, you know, things to be a part and those things stopped being existent at a point
Mm-hmm.
in time. It was kind of like, okay, don't take it away, don't take us away, don't take us away, because that's what it started to feel like at a point in time. But slowly but surely, it started to come back. Things started to come back, and it was like, okay, there we go. That's the motion. So yeah.
So I think this question, and then I want to show a clip. So with motion being who they are, and it's definitely being kind of like one of people's top teams or favorite teams now, and you were in that era before there was a strong media presence. Because Ocean of Soul period didn't have a media team, and they didn't travel as much. And so it was really hard, and a lot of people didn't come to y'all's home game. So you were in that era where it was a lot different.
Yeah.
Now that they have all the following and all the things, outside of the Texas, Houston, Dallas area, what do you think about that fan craze now that feels like they just popped out and they're this versus some of the things that we know the motion to be? This is what they've always been. The world is just kind of getting a taste of that.
Yeah, I feel like people who are just now noticing these things don't know who motion is and are just hopping on the wave of the motion. That's just me being honest, because it's crazy when people be like, "Oh, that new stand they threw was cute," when the stand was there in 2010. You know what I'm saying? So it's like nothing changed about it. They still do it the same. Like it's just the fact that you don't know who the motion are. And it's like when people begin to speak on them and start trying to state facts and things and they're wrong, I just feel like go do your history, go do your research, go watch us, go actually watch what we brought, because we have always been the motion. We have always been those girls with our fancy tricks and high kicks and all those things. Class act of the swag. So, yeah, I really wish people would appreciate where it came from and why it is what it is today, and why y'all love certain things about what you see today. So I would say go watch history. Like really go watch like from 1980, 69 all the way, 1969 all the way to 2024. Like go watch.
Because y'all are actually like what, the second oldest team or third, somewhere in that range.
Thank you.
So it was the Golden Girls and then Motion of the Ocean, right?
Yes.
I think y'all's 50th. It was Golden Girls 50th, y'all's 50th. I think the Dolls. You and the Dolls, Fabulous Dancing Dolls, and y'all started in the same year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so y'all had that same year. So I mean, y'all are literally one of the oldest dance line organizations out there.
That's why, like, I just wish people knew, like, I have nothing against it, but I wish people knew who we were before, the change, the transition. Not saying I'm against them being there, because I'm not. They're doing a great job with the organization and band. I'm grateful for that. And the girls are getting what they need. But for the fans, I feel like go do your history. Go watch. Because a lot of the stuff y'all see, like they have a lot of new material, but they do a lot of old stuff too, especially 2017.
I'm gonna say, yeah, this season alone, that is 2017 material is popping out.
Okay, so yeah, go do your history.
Okay, real quick, we're gonna show this clip, and then I'm gonna give you my final questions before we head out, y'all. I hope you're enjoying Coach Quay's interview with us today. We just thought it, felt it to be appropriate to actually get into the things, because Quay actually has a lot that she doesn't say. She tends to be more quiet. Y'all hear me lead the way a lot, but to finally have an interview where Quay is just full on having to talk, and I'm quiet. This is new. I like this space, but this is the way it's going to be. So we're going to show this clip real quick, and we'll be right back to wrap up our conversation. I hope you're enjoying. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment to Passion in Performance, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page. You can also follow us at auxiliary_the collegiate way. Also on Instagram, that is also run by us. It's just our camp page, but we do a lot of our posting over there as well. That page is its own beast. So anywho, here we go. Let's take this clip of the famous choreography of Your Mind Still. how does that make you feel to see that clip and to kind of reflect back on a time that just kind of seemed like it popped out of nowhere for you?
Honestly, every time it brings joy to my heart. I'm really smiling right now because I go back when I watch it. I actually was sitting right there, so it's like I'm back there reminiscing it all. Those are my babies. I don't care. Those are my babies. I love them all and thank them for even giving me the opportunity to, help them this season. So I'm forever grateful for that. That there is a moment for me. I don't care if nobody else don't feel like it's not a moment or whatever. Mm-hmm. For me, that's a moment in my life. So yes.
So what about the people who think that motion does too much in their stuff? The doing people's counts, the discounts,
that's motion, baby. If you don't like it, you just don't like motion. Go do
so
your
it's
history.
Nothing new?
No, baby, they've been doing that. Go look at 2009 when Germany was captain. She was throwing back counts at everybody. Keep going to 2011, 2012. Let's just pay attention. Yeah, we've been doing it. It's nothing new. Taylor, 2016.
The famous Quinn versus Shankita battle.
Yeah.
They said they were throwing back counts.
Yeah, that's nothing new. And it's like if you don't like it, you just don't like it, and that's okay. Everybody ain't gotta like us, but it's not going to stop us from doing what we've been doing because it's us. That's the motion.
What about all the movement, like a lot of the end counts, even in your mind still, for that song to be kind of a slow song, y'all really were dancing more to the up-tempo-ish beat than to the actual, where some people would have been grooving to the count. Y'all were like making it move. And it really colored the song differently when you think about Brianna, friend, our friend, and one of our people, when you think about Brianna's viral moment of Your Mind Still, and their take on it was much different than Motion's take on
it. Once again, if you go do your history, Motion has been with the end counts. Motion has been with the end counts. So it's like I'm not doing anything that we haven't been doing. At the end of the day, I'm trying to keep it motion.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not just a team that's just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not us. We like to do it in 1, 2, 3, and the 4, 5, 6, and the 7, and the 8. That's us. You're not just people say that it's a lot of people don't like our style because the counts are intricate, and that's motion. Because if you can't learn it, that's kind of a good thing. It's nothing that nothing should be expected about us, and that's just that. So once again, I don't feel like it's too much. That's motion, and if you don't like it, that's okay. But it's not going to change us. It's who we've been always. So.
Okay. Any final words about the state of the auxiliary? Although we get your opinion weekly, any final words about the state of the auxiliary, about passionate performance, about perseverance, about change, about the Emerald Elites, about anything else that you would like to touch on as we are wrapping up our interview?
I would like to say that I am grateful and thanking God for allowing me to have a platform like Passionate Performance, because it has touched so many individuals, male, female. It has touched so many individuals and actually had people who were like me and stopped dancing and get them back into dancing. I'm thankful for you, Brandon, because you allowed me to grow my brand, and now we have this camp, and it's amazing, and it's going to grow every year. I do want to say that Passionate Performance is not done. We're only just getting started. When it comes to the Emerald Elites, I would like to thank them for trusting me, even though I did not plan on leading that summer. I would like to thank them for trusting me, because that was a lot for me, because like I said, I am a middle girl or ace. I'm not a I can lead, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of past my days of doing it how I want to do it, how I used to do it. So I had to really get comfortable with doing that, so yeah, but I'm thankful for it. I really am. And I ain't gonna lie, I might do it again. So yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, don't forget you can stream us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can search for State of the Auxiliary. You don't even have to put podcast, just State of the Auxiliary on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can watch us on Spotify and listen to us on Apple Podcasts. Our episodes will be uploaded each and every Monday, as early as 8 o'clock a.m. So just make sure that you are keeping up with the episodes. We upload now 2 episodes on Mondays. So you'll get on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you will not only get our Under the Spotlight episodes or any other episode branch offs that we do or segments that we do, but you'll also get our lives from Sunday night lives as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Passion & Performance Facebook page, Instagram page, and YouTube page. Definitely support us. Keep running it up. Hit the comments. Let us know how you feel. Continue to interact with us. We want to hear, your thoughts and your stuff. Keep it cute or place it on mute. All right. So don't forget, you can also follow us on our Facebook, again, under Passion & Performance, Instagram, Passion & Performance __, and YouTube, Passion & Performance. You can also find us on Instagram at auxiliary _ the collegiate way. All right. This has been a great interview to actually sit down. Although I do know lots of the things that Quay said, I don't know all of it. Some of it is new to me as well. And to hear her talk about her story and to do it with humility and to still be humble about it definitely hits a thing. And we didn't think this interview would run this long. So that's a testament to the conversation that we're really having, because we knew we were going to do her interview, but we were like, oh, good, okay, this is going to be like a cute little hour. But we're almost been talking for a full hour, 2 hours actually. And it's just been a really good time because you're finally telling your story. And Quay would not tell her story for the longest. I mean, it was like pulling teeth and nails because she did one step on toes. But for her to be willing to tell her story and to just share some of it. And there's still things we have not talked about, but to still just be able to come on here and give parts of the story and to give herself and to be candid and to give advice, it does mean a lot. And it just shows the growth from episode 1 to episode 28. I mean, episode 1, Quay barely spoke. And now episode 28, she's carrying the whole episode. So, I mean, God is moving and he's not.
Yes.
So definitely great with that, y'all. It's been a great episode. Continue to support us. We're going to keep bringing you Under the Spotlight as well as other segments as need be, such as Breaking Barriers when we did with our all males. We definitely want to do another Breaking Barriers episode. We just got to figure out what will qualify for Breaking Barriers. So we'll be bringing that back. All right, y'all. With that being said, I think we've done all we can do here tonight, y'all. Don't forget to go again. If you have time, go out and support on September 29th if you're local in DFW Metroplex or surrounding areas. The Feel Yourself Slow and Medium counts as 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Duncanville Fieldhouse at 1700 South Main Street. You can cash app your $15 entry fee to, I'm going to get it right, $ Quay Nashawn 4, $ Quay Nashawn 4, okay? But I know black people gonna say Nation, okay? But Quay Nashawn 4, you can go ahead and cash out her again, and y'all know it's gonna be a great time. New, old, young, tall, short, big, small. We want you all to
everybody,
show up, okay, and have a good time and do it, y'all. This has been a great time. And we're going to leave you with this video. And so until Sunday Night Live, I hope you enjoy this. And remember, come catch us for week 4 review live. We're going to be giving you our top 3s again from the SIAC, the SIA, the SWAC, and the MEAC. And baby, look, the girls are fighting. Me and Quay were just talking earlier. And baby, the people before I don't know, but week 4 was coming kind of hard, baby.
Okay.
I think everybody has woke up and said we're here. Okay, we're not in the beginning no more. We are now almost mid-season. It's time to turn.
Okay.
All right. So with that being said, guys, we'll see y'all Sunday live at State of the Auxiliary. Bye.
Bye.
Smash Time is in the building. Shit.
Hey, that's how it's supposed to sound, yeah. And that's how it's supposed to sound if you're gonna play it.